So for this week's video, I've recorded this over a year ago at this point. This is very old footage of me from back when I was in Dallas. I'm not in Dallas anymore, I haven't been for a while. I've been having a lot of technical and personal issues all my life, but more so recently over the past year or so, which included my computer absolutely blowing up, which made it impossible to edit or even get to the things I had recorded. My phone also not functioning that great as a recording device, and also the software I was using to decide that it fucking hates me. So now I have a new laptop and some new software, and all of this boils down to I'm finishing this video now about a year afterwards. So all this boils down to I'm finishing this video, but it's like a year after this video happened. As you will see very shortly, this is a video about me testing Inkbox products because they seemed really cool at the time and a lot of YouTubers were like shilling them a little bit. So I wanted to test it out. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into that old ass footage. As I always state in these videos, I am not sponsored. Always assume I'm not sponsored unless I am sponsored, but then I will tell you. A little bit more chaotic than my usual videos because, as you can tell by my barren background, I'm in the middle of moving. And also at this point, it's been a month since my computer has decided not to work, so it's a long story. Okay, something else you want to notice is I just took a shower. So for this video, we're actually gonna try something. There are a few videos that go around that's like TikTok made me buy it, or YouTube made me buy it, or Instagram ads made me buy it, and I love those videos. I have been interested in Inkbox tattoos for a long time. I'm pretty scared of needles, not like super scared, but like generally get pretty queasy when I'm around needles. Not only that, I'm a super indecisive person. So as much as I would love to actually get a tattoo, I'm worried I would change my mind afterwards and not like it after a few years. So temporary tattoos are an extremely appealing idea for me. And Inkbox gets pretty heavily advertised by some YouTubers, and if I was smart, I would have used a discount code, but I forgot. But anyway, this video is going to be trying out Inkbox tattoos. I got quite a selection because the more you add it to your cart, the more of a discount they gave you. And also, if I ever do get like actual tattoos, I kind of want like a sleeve of small tattoos. I've seen somebody else describe this as like almost like a sticker book. Similar concept. Anyway, so I just took a shower, so today I'm going to be applying the tattoos. It says it takes like a few days for them to like actually darken up, kind of like henna. Henna you put on, it stays pretty light, and then over like a day or two, that like it gets pretty dark. So it's pretty similar, it sounds like. And as fun as I think it would be to test them on different parts of my body and like compare it that way, I want to be able to see them. And for work, I have to wear long pants, so they're just all going on my arms. So this is going to be day one, putting them on. They're going to be super light apparently, but obviously I'll update as they darken and wear away and wash away. It says they're water resistant though, so they're not really supposed to wash away. I am surprised by the size of some of these. Again, my fault for not paying close enough attention to the listing. So the first one is actually going to be these fake vampire teeth. I got this one because there's actually a single that was released when I was having a really hard time in my life that I really like, and this is the cover for it. Here's my hand for scale, so it's not that big, which this is kind of the size that I was hoping that most of them would come in, so I could like put a lot of them on my arm, but hand for scale. That's our first one. Next, we have this cute little ghost with a heart balloon. No specific reason for this one, I just really wanted some type of ghost, and this was the cutest one I could find. The rest of them looked kind of weird. Hand for scale, so this one's like a lot bigger than the teeth. Again, bigger than I was expecting, but that's my own fault for not paying too close of attention about the sizes. This is for, you know, when I'm gay and stuff. Hand for scale. Again, this one's bigger than I assumed it would be. In the search that I did on Inkbox, I did make sure to click like small tattoos. Small is relative, especially when you are a small person. A 3-inch tattoo is actually pretty big. Then we actually have this really cute paper airplane design, and I've always been like really interested in paper airplanes, as you can probably tell by that one video I did entirely about paper airplanes. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, this one is again pretty small. I wanted them all to be kind of this size because I was trying to do like the sticker book look, but it's just like a simple dragon. Again, pretty small, and I got this one because I like dragons. I like dragons so much I got two. If you're a nerd, you will immediately recognize this as Smaug from The Hobbit. This one's bigger than the other dragon, and I also got this one because next we have this one. This one, again, it's pretty big for what I thought it was. I think it's technically the smallest size the tattoos come in, but I wanted to put it on my thumb. I think it's going to be too big for that because, again, I am a small person. And last but not least, so Inkbox does this thing where you can make custom tattoos, and you can basically like upload a picture or draw something and they'll print it for you, because they obviously can't use MCR's licensing stuff stuff, so I put this one on there because honestly, if I ever got a tattoo, I would probably get this. This one is smaller than I was expecting. I think I probably clicked the smallest size because it was the cheapest. This was definitely the most expensive tattoo I got, but it's definitely smaller than I was hoping. But I mean, again, that's a personal fault of my own that has nothing to do with Inkbox. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these on according to the instructions, and then we'll do an update to see how they look. Okay, update as promised. I have them all on. They need to stay there for an hour before I can take them off. Except I put this one on my thumb, and so now I can't move my hand. I don't know if this one's gonna work, but we'll see. So it is dark now because I'm supposed to be asleep to get ready for work, but it's just about time to take them off. A few of them have wrinkles in them because I am incapable of sitting still for an hour, even though I was just sitting here watching YouTube. So some of them are kind of crinkled. One, like the one on my wrist that you'll see in a minute, and the one's kind of close to my elbow. They're pretty crinkled, so I'm not sure how those are gonna turn out. Also, because the patches themselves are so big, I couldn't necessarily get like the sticker book look I was going for, so I just gonna have like an assortment on both arms. I got 4 on each arm. I got smart at the very end and cut around this one so that it would actually fit on my hand instead of just putting the whole ass patch on there. So if I did that, I might have actually achieved the look I was going for, but unfortunately I did not think about that until the last one. I have like 2 more minutes, and then after that I will take them off and we'll see how they're looking. Alrighty, tattoo tour time. I do want to say that I am pretty itchy. I don't know if it's just because I'm a little bit sweaty because it's hot, because it's Texas, or if I'm allergic to the adhesive. Anyways, I'll start off with this one on my hand. I decided on putting it on my hand. However, anytime I open my hand, it bends all funny, and even when it's closed, the placement isn't great, which is a me issue, not an Inkbox issue, but I think that's kind of funny. I thought it would look cool, but it kind of looks silly, honestly. And right where my skin is bending, it's already cracking, so, I mean, it's basically just paint, so. Then we have this little dragon here, which I think anything on my inner arm, I think is going to be kind of okay, because I didn't bend my arm there. A little bit higher, we have the airplane, which you can see there are some lines on it because I can't just sit still. Then up here under my sleeve, we have the little ghost, very cute. Anything on my upper arms, I think is going to be the best because it was under my sleeves. And then on this sleeve, we have the Killjoys logo. Again, it's kind of smaller than I would like, and like the lightning bolt doesn't show up all too well. What are you going to do about that? Then we have Smog, like right at my elbow. Again, the patch was so big, it kept getting caught on my elbow every time I would bend it, so it's kind of got some weird lines in it, so it might not turn out that well. We have the teeth right here. I like this one a lot. I wish I'd put it somewhere where I can see it better. And then we have the Stonewall one on my wrist. This was one that bent up really bad because I was moving my hand a lot because I'm incapable of standing still, as I've said several times now. So that one might not last very long at all. But it's supposed to take like a full day to darken up. I think they're supposed to turn black. I don't think they're supposed to stay blue. A few of them still had blue residue left on the like sticky patch, and some of them didn't, so it'd be interesting to see if the ones that had residue left over fade faster than the others. I just took a shower today, so it'll be a few days before I take another shower, but now I'm gonna go to sleep like I was supposed to a few hours ago, and I'll update you after I get off work, I guess. Alright, I just woke up, but I have a bad update. First of all, they've darkened up a lot, but they're still pretty blue, which is kind of weird to me. The Stonewall one is very blurry. That could just be because it's on my wrist. But what I'm really worried about is a lot of them transferred. The worst one is the ghost. You can't see it too well on camera, except for here. Like, this is the shadow of the ghost from when I was sleeping with my arm bent up like this. And it's hard to see on camera, but a lot of the ghost, like half of it, like you can see it pretty good on there on the balloon. This half of the balloon is like way lighter because it transferred either onto my sleeve or onto my arm. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I don't know how that tattoo is going to end up turning out. I also have a lot of transfer on this hand. I think it's of this dragon. I think it's of Smog. I can't exactly tell what it is, but it kind of looks like it's 2 separate transferred. It's of Smog. I do kind of sleep Wednesday Addams style sometimes, so that could be why that happened. And then this one, I can't find where it transferred to, but it looks super light. So I'm pretty sad about that one because I think that one was one of my favorites. Nothing happened to this one, probably because it was under my sleeve. So that one looks fine. It's still not very dark though. And like the thumb one is very, very dark. So some of them like actually really darkened up, but like even this dragon, it's still pretty light. And a lot of them transferred while I was asleep. Smog transferred up my arm too. I feel like that means that the tattoos themselves aren't gonna last as long as they're supposed to. And also now they're gonna be random black mark that aren't full tattoos, just on random parts on my arms and hands. hands. So I'll update you about that, but pretty disappointed about that. As soon as they were done, they immediately were still transferable, which I mean, I guess that makes sense, but it's still kind of disappointing. This is almost 24-hour update for the Inkbox tattoos. Honestly, pretty disappointed currently. The darkest one is definitely the safety pin. That being said, it is still pretty blue. Most of the other ones are still extremely blue. It's kind of hard to tell because my lighting currently is green, but this dragon is still very blue. This airplane is still light blue. The ghost, the bottom half is pretty dark, but the top half is still very blue. It's definitely faded where it touched my skin, and this part is not washing off and is definitely going to just be another tattoo. Same with the ones on my hand. These on my hand are darker than the actual smog tattoo that they came from. This is still very blue. This one is still very blue. And then this one up here is still very blue. Now, this one, it's dark. It's dark, but it's still very blue, and it is so smudged. Something I'm really not enjoying about these is the safety pin and the stone wall specifically are so blown out and so blurry. Like, it's not good at all. The ones up my arms aren't necessarily like blown out and blurry, but they're like patchy and they're missing sections. Smog and the ghost specifically are really bad because they transplanted onto different places on my bodies, and those places are darkening up and looking better than the actual tattoos themselves are. But like the teeth and the airplane, they're just patchy. Like, I don't know where they went. It's just like the tattoo didn't fully transfer all the way or something. Like, there are tiny chunks missing out of it. It's not good. Like, if you pay attention and you're looking closely, it really doesn't look that good. Maybe from far away it's fine, but I'm pretty disappointed about the teeth specifically. Like, in the corner there, you can see that it's like missing a lot. There's just like a lot of chunks just missing out of it. It's almost like it's a temporary tattoo, like those ones that you put on with water and they kind of peel off. That's what it's looking like, instead of like the ones that are supposed to get dark, kind of like a henna tattoo, or just like henna in general. So that's pretty disappointing. And like I said, it's been almost 24 hours at this point, and they're still transferring. I have to wear gloves when I work, and last night was super slow, so I got away with not wearing gloves almost all night. And this one was already looking rough. Like, it had already blurred out to the point to where the pin part, like the very end of the pin, didn't even look sharp anymore. It just looks like a stick. So that was already disappointing. But I managed to go over 20 hours having the tattoos on my body before I had to put the gloves on. I had the gloves on for maybe an hour and I took them off, and it is now so blurry and so blown out and so just gross looking. It looks melted. It's not good. I'm very disappointed, especially in this one. This one is the darkest, but it just looks so bad. Again, it's been almost 24 hours at this point and they're still transferring. That just doesn't seem like that should be happening. As for the designs of the tattoos themselves, I'm still liking most of them. I mean, I picked them out. I'm still liking the teeth one the best, and I'm extremely disappointed that's looking so bad because I still think that was my favorite. Placement wise, I like where this one is placed the best. It's very similar to this one, but I think this one, first of all, I don't think I put it on straight. Second of all, I think it is a little bit too high and too low at the same time. If it was a little bit higher, it could be easily be covered by a bracelet. Right now, it's kind of like half covered or barely covered when I put on a bracelet, and so it's too low to be covered by the bracelet, but then too high to be fully exposed when I'm wearing a bracelet. So it's just not good looking. Also, like I said, it's not straight, so it looks kind of weird. This one, I wish I had put on my other hand. I wanted the pin part to be on my thumb, but I also wanted it on this hand. But I think it would have looked better if I just stuck with putting the pin part on my thumb like I wanted and just put it on my other hand. But those are my thoughts 24 hours after I put them on. They are supposed to last 2 weeks. The hand ones are supposed to fade faster, this little one says. So we'll see where they go from here, but so far I'm pretty disappointed. It just seems like you have to wait so long after you put them on to make sure they don't transfer. They're still transferring after 24 hours. That's too long. Anyways, I'll update you when and if these ever get any dark. They're not good. It's been 48 hours at this point. They should not still be transferring, and they definitely shouldn't still be getting worse about the like fading and the like blurriness. The most horrendous one, this one, oh my gosh, it is so bad, and every time I look at it, it's worse. It looks like I drew these on with pen. I'm having an absolutely horrible experience with these. Yeah, this is not good. Like, this dragon one was a little bit blurry when I woke up, but now it's like super blurry, which means they're still transferring and they're still getting messed up after 48 hours of them supposedly, you know, settling in or whatever. Yeah, it's only been 48 hours and I'm very disappointed in pretty much every single tattoo. The only one that like isn't blurry or patchy or gross is this one, but it's also still very light blue. It like hasn't darkened at all. So, and also, while I had the camera on. In my very first like intro video where I was talking about why I didn't use like somebody's passcode, like one of the YouTubers' passcodes, because they always have like a discount code. That's the word I'm looking for. They always have a discount code. I didn't use a YouTuber's discount code, but since it was my first time purchasing, they do have like a first time purchaser's code. However, you couldn't then combine that with the discount you were getting for buying more than one tattoo. So I bought 8 tattoos, and every time you add a tattoo to your cart, you get a percentage off. With the 8 tattoos, I forget exactly how much off, but it brought my total to $100. I then tried to add my first timer's discount code, and it brought my total from $100 to $114. It got rid of all my discounts from adding more tattoos. It canceled them all out and just gave me the first timer's discount code by itself. So that's incredibly annoying. So I feel like it would probably work the same way with the YouTuber's discount code. So first of all, you wouldn't be able to use your first time discount code, and you could probably only really buy tattoos like one at a time. So far, really annoyed. And like, I'm so annoyed with them, I don't even want to show them to anybody because they look so bad. Like, luckily it was cold tonight, so I was able to wear long sleeves, and tomorrow I have skating and I can wear long sleeves at the rink. But isn't that just so sad that I would rather wear long sleeves and cover them up than try and show them off and show how cool they are, which is kind of the whole point. Anyways, that's my rant for today done. I guess I'll check in if anything changes, but honestly, they look like shit, and I'm not happy about it. Hello, I just woke up. Today is day 3 of having the tattoos on. I'm an idiot. Nothing to do with the application or the look of them. They still extremely upset. They're still blurring. They're still getting worse, so. However, in the intro to this video, I did say something along the lines of, I bought 8 because 8 is my lucky number. I bought 11. I got 8. There was like a lot of trouble getting them actually shipped to me, so when I got them, I was just super excited that I actually had them, so I didn't like look over my shipping information or like my past order or anything like that, because I was just like, yay, they're finally fucking here, because there were a few that I distinctly remember wanting, but I was like, maybe I changed my mind. It's day like 4, I think. So remember how yesterday I said I was an idiot because I thought I had all my tattoos and then it turns out I didn't? Well, turns out I'm still an idiot because I found them. However, I tore apart my room looking for these, and I understand how I couldn't find them. They are fucking tiny. They are so small. Look at this. Look how small that is. So I have the 3. I have the lavender, I have the little teeny tiny itty bitty butterfly. Look how small that is. I can't even focus on it. That's how small it is. And then the Loch Ness Monster is a little bit bigger, but it is still so small. So I found them, but they're so small that again, the size is on the listing, but again, they're still disappointingly small. For the idea of a sticker book look, I think these would be really good because they are so small. They'd be good like in betweens. So if I had put in all of them on one arm, then these would be good like space fillers. The problem is, each one of these tattoos costs like $15, and this is so tiny. Anyways, I'm still really disappointed with the tattoos I currently have on my body, so I guess we're gonna do round 2 to see if the application was the problem. I'm gonna apply them again now with these ones that I was supposed to apply like 4 or 5 days ago, and see if something about my application process makes a difference. I'm also not going to sleep after this, so I'll see if that makes a difference. But customer service never answered me back about when I thought these were missing. Back when the package itself was missing, I got an answer from customer service, but then I found the package. But then when I couldn't find these, I emailed them again and I never got a response, so about 50-50 on the customer service. Again, I found them, so it's not like that big a deal, but it is still annoying that they still haven't answered me about half the stickers missing, if they were actually missing and I wasn't just dumb. Again, I'm disappointed about the size on these. I think the sizing on the listing is a little bit misleading, because this one, I think, was a 1-inch sticker, because the Loch Ness Monster itself is about 1 inch, but this one was also listed as a 1-inch sticker, because the entire square is about 1 inch. So this one's like way smaller than this Loch Ness Monster one, even though they were listed as the same size. Anyways, I'm gonna put them on and see if I can put them on in a way to where they won't fucking smudge all over the place, because these are getting worse and worse every day. It's just like the entire, it's so bad. It's so bad. Anyways, I'll update you to see if these actually work. Some of these old ones are still, like this one, it's dark, but it's still like bluish, which I think is weird. None of them ever actually turned all the way black. They got really, really dark blue, and now they're either like starting to peel like a stick, like an actual stick-on temporary tattoo. They're starting to peel up like that, or they're just like smudging and fading and being gross. So still very disappointed, but let's put on these and try round 2. Hello. I think at this point it has been over a week. I'm not 100% sure exactly how long it's been, because I didn't film for a few days because I was getting home and it was dark and you couldn't see anything anyways. But that being said, this one has started to fade very badly. The ones that I put on like pretty recently are doing pretty well. They darkened up pretty fast, but they're having the exact same problems as all the other ones did. Super patchy, easily falling off and, smearing everywhere. So 11 out of 11 of these tattoos have been extremely smearing and gross and patchy and not very fun to look at. And I don't know what I expected, but they come off super easily if you scratch. I don't know how much you can see that, but this airplane now looks like a gradient because I scratched most of the ink out of my skin. So that's cool. Alternatively, I did not scratch this one, but it looks very similar because most of it has already fallen out and it is patchy and gross. It does not look good. Same thing with Smog here. Very patchy. Does not look good. I haven't even looked at my ghost in a while, but it is so bad. Like, most of his heart is already gone. Yeah, like, these aren't good. This dragon is doing mostly okay, and Stonewall, surprisingly, is hanging around. And that surprises me because it was so bad. Like, so smeared and gross. But so far, that is the one that's holding on the best. That and this one right here. And honestly, the Loch Ness Monster is not terrible, but it is also one of the newest ones. I haven't even looked at this one in forever. I think we lost one of the spider legs. Yeah, so I'm not gonna give my overall thoughts quite yet because, it's only been 1 week and they're supposed to last for up to 2 weeks. But I think it's pretty clear at this point that I'm not liking these. And like the shadow of the ghost is still there. Smog is off my hands, but like Smog on my arm up here is still there. That sucks that the tattoos themselves transfer, but also like the transfers stick around longer, if not as long as the tattoos themselves. So also they did not ever get back to me about my second email, so it's still 50% on the customer service aspect, but I'll update you whenever I remember to. So it's literally the day after I recorded that last clip saying that they had just started to fade. I took a shower and now they are very extremely faded. Like this one looks okay, but even the ones that I like just put on, they look real bad. This one's almost gone. This one's almost gone. Like, they weren't this bad yesterday. Apparently it just takes one shower once they start fading to like really get them faded. This one especially, it's like this part is like almost gone. So once they start fading, they're pretty much done for. I think that's only a total of 3 showers I've had since I put these on. I can't exactly remember. It might have just been 2. Once they start fading, they definitely don't withstand a shower. It says they're water resistant though, so they're not really supposed to wash away. It says they're water resistant though, which is a little bit disappointing. It is like a week and a day, so. Hello, it is currently a Wednesday. I don't remember when I put these on, but here is probably one of the final updates. Our hand guy is almost completely gone. Every single other one is extremely patchy. Even the ones I just put on, they're like very patchy and they're obviously gonna go away this soon. Like this one too. Stonewall's hanging in there. I think that's one of the best ones. Ghost has almost lost his heart completely. Spider's lost a few legs. Yeah, they're going downhill pretty fast. I think last time I recorded, I just took a shower, and I don't exactly remember how many days ago that was, but I have taken a shower since then. And honestly, this one was even better this morning, so just in one day, even more of it has rubbed off. So I don't think these are gonna last for much longer at all. Like I said, I really don't remember how long ago I put these on, so when I go and edit all these clips together, I'll have a more accurate timeline. That being said, if you remember my first few clips, they weren't even good since the beginning, so I'm still not really that impressed with them. And the transfers, they're still hanging around. Like I have one up here on my arm from Smog, and I have one up here on my arm from the Ghost, and just like a few of these transfers are still hanging around. Like they still don't look good. I don't know, I'm really tired. I've got a lot going on with the move and stuff, so I'll put all my final thoughts together later on, probably when I have new hair. Hello. I have new hair, and it is March 30th. It's been a while since I've put these tattoos on me, and I did in fact forget about them for a while. Let's do an update. Hand completely gone. Wrist on camera it looks completely gone, but there are a few little pinpricks. Loch Ness Monster almost completely gone. This guy's hanging on a little bit. Stonewall again almost gone. There's only a little bit left. Same with both the butterfly and the lavender. Smog is almost gone, and this guy's still hanging on a tiny bit. The ones up here on both my arms look pretty similar to the airplane and the teeth. Like they're hanging around, but they don't look good. So this is the state of the tattoos 2 showers after the last time I showered. I honestly do not remember what I've said in any of these past clips besides complaining that they don't look good, which, is true. And obviously they've stuck around for a while at this point. I think it's been 3 weeks, but the thing is they don't look good because you put them on and it takes about 24 hours or 48 hours or even longer for them to darken up all the way. And then you have maybe a day or 2 tattoo. Sometimes not even that, depending on how they transfer, of them looking good, and then they immediately start to go downhill. I don't know, I'll make a more concise final thoughts, but I have to look back at all these clips and remember what I already said so I'm not repeating myself 1,000 times. But honestly, they're just temporary tattoos. I don't know why I expected them to behave better than just the wash-on ones. Maybe because they're like $15 for one tattoo. Generally speaking, I'm not impressed. And now we're back to present day, with closing remarks. I mentioned briefly in there that it was March something and something about I was gonna narrow down the timeline. I don't fucking remember any of it. I remember some of them boasted to last several weeks, and they definitely did not. I think the majority of them lasted around a week. And I guess it depends on what you mean lasted. Like, generally speaking, they never looked good. They were always slightly blurry. They definitely looked like they got smudged. If you got a tattoo like that, you would be upset. If you had a temporary tattoo that looked like that, you would be upset. The little childish temporary tattoos look better than those did. Annoyingly, the weird transfer that happened lasted as long, if not longer, than the actual tattoos themselves, which is pretty annoying. And all in all, I don't think it was worth it. My friend actually ended up buying me some like markers that like work the same as temporary tattoos, like you draw on yourself and it's supposed to last for, I don't know, a few days to a few weeks. I think that might be a cheaper and more fun experience than Inkbox. Inkbox is mostly black and white. I think they do have color ones now, but I'm gonna bet that the color ones are way more expensive, whereas the tattoo markers that my friend got me just come in colors that you can draw on yourself with, basically. And while I'm not a particularly artistic person, my friend is, and I know that she could draw something fun and actually good on me, and it would be, you know, a fun friend thing to do together. It wouldn't be one of their like premeditated designs. Like, I could actually tell her what to draw, and it could actually be in color from the get-go, and it would probably last just as long as the Inkbox tattoos. And that, I feel like, is a closer experience to actually getting a tattoo, because you're sitting there with somebody explaining to them what idea you have in your head. She would probably sketch it out for me and be like, is this what you're talking about? Which seems way more like getting an actual tattoo than just getting a little sticker and sticking it on yourself. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this video and see how long the markers last versus the Inkbox shit lasts. It might be a fun comparison. So no, I don't have an exact timeline for you how long the Inkbox tattoos lasted, but they didn't last long. There was never a point where they looked anything but blue. Granted, they did look very dark blue at some points, but they never looked black. They were always some shade of blue. And I guess it just depends on what your goal is, but if you're like attempting to look like you actually got a tattoo, then I think that's pretty annoying that they never actually got to the point of looking like a tattoo. It always just looked temporary and fake. So no, I really don't think Inkbox is worth the money, especially when one tiny sticker is like $10. I will tell you what I liked about Inkbox. I liked Inkbox in the way that it inspired me to get actual tattoos. You can probably tell that some of my tattoos are very heavily inspired by the Inkbox tattoos. The thing about the Inkbox tattoos is I bought ones that I would actually like as for real tattoos. So the ones that ended up on my body are very, very heavily inspired because I bought them for a reason. We have here the vampire teeth that are actually in color now. We have some lavender, again, actually in color. And then we have some line work ones that aren't gonna be in color because they're line work. I do have the two on my hands that are not really inspired by Inkbox anything. I just thought they were funny. I have dyslexia, and that makes it pretty hard to determine left from right. So I got it permanently affixed to my hands. A lot of people also find this funny. The tattoo artist found it very funny. Majority of people find it funny. There are a few stick in the muds who are like, that's stupid, just figure it out, do the left and right thing. This doesn't work for me. This means nothing to me. These are like a month and a half old at this point, so not really old by tattoo standards, but there's been no blurring at all. Even on my hands I've heard are particularly bad about getting like blurry and fuzzy, but oh my god, the tattoo artist did amazing. And yeah, I got these all done at once on the same day by the same person. 5 technically, but 4 really tattoos all in one day as my first time getting a tattoo. The thing is, I couldn't pick, and I wanted to already get that sticker book look that I had mentioned before in my Inkbox video. I wanted to get that look already started. Like, I didn't want to have just one, when my goal was always to have a bunch of little ones here and there. And now that I have tattoos and I've enjoyed the experience, and even months or so in, I regret none of these, even the silly ones. I would love to get a new tattoo for like every place I travel, or anytime anything big happens in my life, or just for fun. I already have some ideas, like that ghost, I do want to get that ghost up here. It's so fucking cute. And obviously I'm not going to get the exact Inkbox design. I'm going to change some things. I'm definitely going to add a little bit of color. I also definitely want that paper airplane. Again, not the exact one. I do want it like a lot longer, like actually the length of my arm. I want to get like a little bag of goldfish. Like, Inkbox didn't inspire me to get tattoos. I already wanted tattoos. And the only thing I liked about the Inkbox experience was basically just deciding whether or not I would enjoy having a tattoo, which I feel like so many other things can do that for you, and you won't have to pay a lot of money for a not that great experience. The thing about the Inkbox tattoos was that I missed them when they were gone. I liked being able to look down and see the teeth on my arm. The teeth are the big one for me. I like the teeth a lot, okay? But I liked being able to look down and see it. I liked being able to like connect with my body in that way. Not to get too personal and too philosophical here, but anybody who's had bad experiences with like Christianity might be familiar with the feeling of your body is not your own, your body belongs to somebody else, and it can be very demeaning and very demoralizing. And I didn't get tattoos specifically to like rebel against the Catholic Church. I did get them because I wanted them. It's hard to ignore the fact that growing up in that situation made me feel like I wasn't allowed to make any choices for myself, and these make me happy to look at because they're mine, because I made this choice for myself. I'm gonna avoid trying to get into a rant about religion because I could go on for hours. The only redeeming quality about the Inkbox tattoos was that they solidified the fact in my mind that I would like having tattoos, and that I did in fact want them, like in reality, not just like as a concept, like, oh, tattoos would be cool. No, I actually wanted them because as they started to fade, I was disappointed, not only because it's like not that great of a product that's very expensive, but I wanted them to remain. I wanted that little piece of artwork to remain there. And I feel like that's something that can be attained through other means, like the tattoo pins, or even just drawing on yourself with regular pens. So no, I would not endorse Inkbox in reality. They even have their own tattoo pin that is very expensive. Just buy the cheaper ones. Like I said, maybe I'll make a part 2 that like actually compares their pin with like the other pins, but I don't know, it is very expensive and I'm worried that it will also not be as great quality. And they do have examples of the Inkbox tattoos on darker skin, which is great, especially since 90% of their designs are just black. So I will give Inkbox credit there. They at least have people with darker skin as models modeling their tattoos. Maybe that's the reason mine never fully darkened. Maybe I'm just so white that they just always looked blue because my translucent skin couldn't hold the ink well enough. I don't know. All in all, not that pleased with the product. I probably wouldn't spend any money on it again unless I'm making that part 2 video, but otherwise no, I would rather just go get a new actual tattoo. There is 1 or 2 more of those Inkbox designs that I would like. I have a little bit of a scar here that I would like to put the safety pin on, like almost as if it's holding it together. I think that's pretty neat. But beyond that, not my favorite product. Would not recommend. This video was not sponsored, obviously. Probably will never be now. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.